Actually, is what does Sanatan Dharma means?
Sanatana Dharma is how we identify ourselves. So, the word Hindu is it's a generally accepted fact now, although some people may still object. First of all, let me be very frank, very honest, very open that there is no such thing as Hinduism.
Yeah.
The word that was used in Rig Veda was Rita, Rit, Rita, Ritam. Now, Rit, if you translate it, it simply means natural laws. And later, it took about 2,000-3,000 years, perhaps more, up to 5,000 years. From Rit, it becomes Dharma. Now, let me tell you first of all that Sanskrit is a new kid on the block.
And what was the previous?
Prakrit languages.
Yes.
Prakrit language, natural languages, okay? Sanskrit is derived from Prakrit languages.
Yes.
Not the vice versa.
Prakrit means natural.
Alami, natural.
Yeah.
Now, if you see the ruins of Mohenjo-daro that is now established from 8,000 to 5,000 years ago, according to me, it should be about 12,000 years. Because to reach that kind of height, that kind of civilization, 8,000 years ago, it must have taken a few thousand years.
Yes.
Until 5,000 years ago, we cannot still decipher the characters that was used as script during those days.
Until now.
Until now.
Yes.
And if we establish that, now this is also established fact that the war on the battlefield of Kurukshetra happened about 5,000 years ago.
Yes.
Now, if 5,000 years ago the war was happening and Sindh was governed by Sindhu Raj, whose name was Jayadratha,
Yes.
and Jayadratha was the brother-in-law of Kauravas,
Yes.
of Duryodhana, the language is not decipher. The script is not decipher. That means in those days,
We were not using Sanskrit yet.
we were not using Sanskrit as yet. The very word Sanskrit means polished, codified. We have lived in Indonesia and we know in 1970s we decided to change our ejaan or pronunciation, not pronunciation.
Not the spelling.
The spellings.
Yes.
Yeah, and we call it ejaan baru.
Yeah.
New spelling.
spelling.
Before that, we had different ejaan. So the first languages are Prakrit. Prakrit language is the combination of so many languages. Marathi is Prakrit language, Sindhi is Prakrit language, Punjabi is Prakrit language, Tamil is Prakrit language.
So those are the so-called Prakrit languages.
Prakrit. In those Prakrit languages, it was called rhythm. Even in the Vedas, now Vedas was written in which language, in which script, we don't know. Though now they are establishing there was a Brahmi script.
So that's another different script.
Another script, So these languages, if you read Bhagavad Gita or you read Veda, the language is a bit different. It's just like Shakespearean language,
Yes.
English, and the English language that we speak today.
Yes.
Even the meaning of some words are different. So in those days it was called rhythm, then it became Dharma, and then it was added, the word Sanatan was added to explain that this set of natural laws have been there for time immemorial.
From the very beginning.
From the very beginning. From where you come from West Java, it is called Vivitan.
Yes.
And the word Vivitan in Sundanese and Sanatan exactly same meaning.
Yeah.
So if you want to say that this is Sanatan, eternal, that means what? It has to be Puratan, ancient. It has to be Nitnutan, ever new.
Ever new.
And so the language has been developing.
Which should be the case anyway.
Exactly.
Because if
Exactly.
we learn from history, if we
Exactly.
keep to remain the same
True.
without adopting to
True.
the new surroundings and all
True.
that, it will die eventually.
True. Until 400-500 years ago, the ancient scriptures, not very ancient, 400-500 years ago, the writings that was found during Majapahit era in Indonesia, they don't mention Hindu Dharma at all.
Exactly.
They mention the teachings of Shiva, Shiva Tattva,
And Jina.
and Jina Tattva, the teachings of Buddha and Mahavir. And then the slogan, Ekam Sat Vipra, Bhineka
Bhinneka
Tunggalika.
Tunggalika, yeah.
Bhineka Tunggalika, which is the exact translation of Ekam Sat Vipra Bahuda Vadanti. It's not unity in diversity, not as simple as that. It looks different, but essentially it's one. On the surface, it looks different, but essentially one.
At the core, it is
At the
one.
core, it is one. So Sanatana Dharma is how we introduce ourselves. And this is a tragedy that people who are converting into Hinduism, they want to put ism behind Hindu.
Yes.
We have no problem with Hindu. Hindu derived from Sindhu. Many people will argue no, but it is an established fact.
Yes.
The very first time we read about Sindhu is not from the ancient text in India. It is the written text, Rig
Yes.
Veda, of course, but it was not written at that time. The written text was Zendavasta,
Yeah.
the ancient scriptures of Persians.
Persia.
And there it is written, Hafta Hindua, the land of 7 rivers, the land of 7 Sindhus. We all belong to the same civilization, and we have to really open up ourselves to this fact that from ancient Persia to the outer limits of Australia, we all belong to the same civilization, same culture, and Sanatana Dharma belongs to all this, not only to Bharat, not only to Republic of India presently.
It stretches out. The second question is, do Hindus pray to idols?
Now, this is the word idol comes because we are trying to confirm with the general view. Different religions come and then we try to be apologetic. Oh no, we don't worship idols. I have no problem worshipping idols. We have got idols here. But we do not consider them as idols.
True.
We call them Vigraha, which is more popular in South India. Vigraha means emanation. It's the emanation of the same divine power. And then we also use Pratima, which is Pratibimb, likeness. It's the shadow, it's the projection of divinity. How do I conceive divinity?
It's beyond imagination.
It's beyond imagination, but still I have to conceive something. If you see the ancient, the old Vigraha, old Pratima, old likeness in Java or Bali, they have fangs.
Yes.
Yeah? Jai Vijay, the Dwarpal.
Yes.
They
The
have
guardians
fangs,
of the gates. Yeah.
So we conceive those guardians as fierce looking. Because if you want to save yourself, protect yourself, you have somebody who is fierce looking. But in North India, we have different version of Jai Vijay.
Much prettier.
Much prettier. So it depends. It depends from place to place geographically. But what was the question? The question was,
Do Hindus pray to idols?
we pray to that divinity that is everywhere.
Yeah. That is emanating from
Yeah.
each and every being in this universe,
True.
even in the inanimate form of it.
Animate and inanimate.
Yes.
Char and achar.
Yes.
We do not even consider something dead material,
Exactly.
dead matter.
We cannot actually. It is already proven scientifically that
True.
every matter, whether we call it inanimate, when we measure it with a specific instrument, basically it emanates vibrations.
Atoms.
atoms.
All atoms.
Yes, then how
This is-
can things
we
be
call
inanimate?
this achar, inanimate. In the sense we don't call them inanimate, we call them achar. Achar means not movable.
Not movable. Yeah.
It's not movable. I'm movable, you're movable. When I die, I'll not be movable again.
Mm-hmm.
But that life is still there.
Exactly.
We cannot perceive it, we cannot detect it.
Yeah.
That same atom will one day become a tree, become a leaf,
True.
become something. Nothing dies.
So again, do Hindus pray to idols?
Pray to everything, pray to trees.
Yeah.
Because we see God everywhere, animals, life. We see life anywhere.
Exactly.
So if we can pray human beings, there's Manoj Kumar, the
Yes.
actor, right?
Yeah.
There was a beautiful song in one of his movies that if you can revere stone.
Yeah.
Why can't I revere human beings?
Exactly.
Even stones are revered.
Exactly. Yeah. It is again about the perception,
Perception.
about understanding, and about the openness or the horizon of our way of we perceive life, basically.
Vivekananda was once challenged, and he was a guest in one of the small kingdoms in South India or somewhere, I forgot now. And he asked this king, he said, whose picture is that? My father's picture. Can you take this picture and spit on it? It's not your father.
It's just a picture.
It's a piece of picture. Can you spit on it?
I wouldn't.
Nobody can.
Yeah.
Can you spit on the flag of some country?
Exactly. You go to jail here.
Go to jail. Can
Yeah.
you spit on the picture of our president or vice president? It's offense. So we see God everywhere. If we can honor human beings, we can honor the panji, the icons, the emblems of a state. Why can't we honor the divine emblem?